So you want to have a family, but you don't want to get married and you don't want to deal with any of that. So I hear this more and more. Men are stopping themselves from having families. Men who could be great fathers and raise great families. They don't want to get involved. They've seen what happens in marriage. They've seen the divorce. They've seen their friends and relatives have to go through the court system, not being able to see their kids, fighting with their ex-wives, dealing with their ex-wife's new boyfriend who's living in the house that they paid for. The nightmares and the stories are endless, and no one wants to deal with that anymore. There's the courts, there's that factor. There's culture, the way things have changed. Social media, FOMO, for those who don't know, fear of missing out. A lot of people have that. Oh, my friend's single and they're having a great time. I'm unhappy this week. I'm going to get a divorce too. And you're seeing these pictures of people having a great time and they seem to be having a great life. So the ups and downs of marriage, I'm not going to deal with that anymore. And then that's it. Then you don't get to see your kids and it just seems like a nightmare. So no one wants to do that. Some people do. Some people are going to take that risk. But it's sad because people could have families and be great parents. And this is true. What would call how culture has affected both men and women. I'm not singling anyone out here. There's good and bad on both sides. So let's establish that. But you're a guy and you still want to have a family. You don't want to deal with marriage. You don't want to deal with the court system. You don't want to deal with how social media has changed dating and relationships. And pretty much you've been eliminated as the head of the family. You're no longer needed. Every woman thinks they can find someone better than you. It's called hypergamy. And modern culture has fed that with the instant gratification. So everyone thinks they can get something better. So they get divorced, they jump around from guy. Maybe some of them find someone good. Congratulations, great. But there is a definite jumping around and then everybody gives up. They get angry. All men are terrible. Guys don't want to date and it's impossible. So here we are. So what do you do? I'm not going to date anymore. I'm not going to have a family. I'm not going to. You can do something. Two options. Surrogacy. Wow, you never considered this, but this is the way the world is going. Surrogacy. Go for adoption too. If it's possible as a single parent to get to adopt, it's fantastic. I know tons, not tons, but several people have been adopted, and it's just a fantastic thing to do. Why not? Why the heck not? Surrogacy is the other option. Yes, pay someone to have your child. And then no one's going to take your child away from you. You'll be able to raise your child. You'll be able to teach the child all your wisdom that you're going to lay down. You have control. You don't have to lose your house to have the child. You don't have to put up with someone who's not treating you well, if that's the case. You can pay someone to have your child. And this is, I believe, the way the world is going. My advice to you is focus on your career, make as much money as you can. So if you do want to start a family, you can get a surrogate. She will have your child for you. You will have all the rights, and you can raise that child without fear of someone else taking that child away from you. You only getting visitation on the weekends or every other, or some kind of criminal, which is just horrible. And I understand why people wouldn't want to do that. But you can do surrogate and have someone else have your child, but plan it out. You're going to need money for care so that you can still go to work and support your family. And you get to educate your child the way you want. You get to spend as much time as you want with your child. You have all those freedoms and you can ensure that the child is raised how you want it to be raised. Men get in these situations, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Women get in this situation too, of course. And then you're stuck. And then you have to give up everything. And then you're a second class citizen and you got to go to the courts. And everybody has seen it. And it's a living hell. So, surrogacy. Save your money. Pay for a surrogate to have your child. You have all the rights. And you don't have to live in fear that you're going to lose your child. something else is going to happen. You're not going to get to raise your child. Your spouse is going to get remarried, and that guy is going to get to raise your child, and you don't know him, and they haven't been vetted by you. It's a nightmare. But look, you're going to have to educate your child. Maybe you don't want to send your child to regular schools. Schools are kind of crazy now. So maybe you want to homeschool. Budget yourself. Figure out how much it's going to cost to have a teacher come in and teach your child, to have a nanny for when you're unable to be there and make food and pick them up and drop them off. And if you are going to homeschool, your child still needs to be socialized and have friends and experience what that is like. That's why they must play sports. Sports are great. You get to have camaraderie, you get to have friends, you get to learn how to work as a team. If you're just letting your kids sit home by themselves, watching TV and playing video games, you are robbing them of important life lessons. I played competitive sports my whole life, and it was very important. And everybody I talk to about that sees the importance of competitive sports and having those friends and learning how to work with each other as a team and the value of other people and their skills offset your skills. It's endless what you learn from sports about everything, and then achievement in life. It's just an amazing part of becoming a well-rounded adult is playing sports and finding way. Music's the same way. You could get into music too, be in a band, be in the orchestra. It's great. And music is fabulous. I play a couple of instruments and I love it. And I love all the people I met who are musicians and do things like that. It's just been an important part of my life. So budget for these things if you're going to be a surrogate. Think about it. Budget for it. Figure it out. Talk to people who have done it. I'm sure there are agencies you can get in touch with and see how this happens. What are your rights and what's involved? Figure out a budget for raising your kid and homeschooling if that's the way you want to go, or public schools, and then sports and having someone pick up and drop off and make meals and how all those logistics are going to work out. Because you can do this. You can have a family and avoid what the world has created, the mess and whatever you want to call it, that's happened to our families and all these difficulties that are standing in the way of us loving each other and devoting ourselves to our children, coming together with someone I love and trust, having kids, and being able to count on that other person. It's not really, it's a tough world to try to make that happen. Enough said about that. So look into adoption, look into surrogacy. You could end up being really happy. And if it was your dream to have a family, starting a family and having a couple kids. But you're going to have to make some coin, right? This is why, I always say, focus on yourself, focus on improving yourself. If you're in business, get a second business. If you're working for someone else, start something on the side. See about investing. Do all these things. Hustle, because you can make your dreams come true. Don't give up. And you can be a surrogate. You can have a surrogate and keep dating. It's essentially removed a lot of the importance for dating and a lot of the problems, because you're not going to have to take it so seriously because you don't need that other person in order to start a family. You don't need them anymore. She doesn't need you. You don't need her. Surrogacy. Find a surrogate and have some kids. I hope everyone who's listening to this follows through. If you want to have kids, do this. Look into this. If you have done this or know someone who has, drop the story in the comments. I'd love to get a discussion going on this because I really feel like this is the way things are going. No one wants, practically no one wants what's being offered by society now. It's a mess. And I just noticed a lot of people have been adopted or adopt, and they're just very happy. And surrogacy is just an option. There's women who are very generous and will do this and help you start your family without any of the legal ramifications and doing it the natural way. I don't know if that's really the appropriate word, natural way. I don't know what's natural anymore. The way things were set up in the past and that type of a family it's gone. There's some faint echoes of that. So what do? You have to roll with it. You have to roll forward. If this was one of your dreams, I think you should pursue it. Find out. And guys, if you have any thoughts or you've looked into this, make a comment. Let's hear what you got to say. I'm very curious to hear from people who have gone this route and how it turned out. So guys, don't give up hope. If this is something you want to pursue it and find out for yourself what's going to happen. You could be a great parent, and I would hate for someone who has that kind of a dream just to give it up because of the disastrous relationship climate that's going on. You could still meet someone and find someone of quality and start a family with them. That could happen. I think the chances of that happening get slimmer and slimmer as time goes on, and there's just a lot of stuff going against you, and it's a roll of the dice. Whereas surrogacy, the law is more on your side. Let's put it that way, and your chances of keeping the family you're creating together are much better. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you got something out of that. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification so when the next video is coming. I'd love to have you here for the next one. All right, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.